Ladies and gentlemen, people of the internet, today I will be sharing with you the first half of my top 10 altcoin picks for 2020. And if you want to check out the second half of my top 10 altcoin picks, make sure you're subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on so you can get a heads up when I post part 2 in this series. Thank you in advance, and without further ado, let's hash it out. Now, to preface this whole thing, this list is in no particular order, so don't get stressed out about my rankings. I'm also not telling you to go dump a bunch of money into these coins. This is really my opinion on projects that I think have real potential. In fact, if you don't really believe in and deeply understand the projects that I'm talking about today, I urge you not to spend 1 cent on the tokens. Of course, this means that none of this is financial advice because, well, no one can predict prices. With that out of the way, let's dive into the list. Now, the first project on my list of altcoins today is one with major potential, and that is Enjin. My reasoning is quite simple. I believe that non-fungible tokens, or NFTs as they're called, are going to be a major arbiter of adoption for cryptocurrency going forward. Enjin's done amazing work on creating tools, frameworks, and more for adoption of NFTs in the form of digital collectibles and items on the Ethereum blockchain. In my mind, ERC 1155 token standard, the one that Enjin built, it mixes the best of both non-fungible and fungible tokens, and it's one of the most impactful developments in the Ethereum ecosystem to date. I don't say that stuff lightly because, quite frankly, there have been so many great inventions. Now, the other driving force behind Enjin's potential success is their work focused on the burgeoning market for blockchain-based gaming. Enjin's recently launched its blockchain gaming platform on the Ethereum mainnet, which helps provide tools and infrastructure for developers to integrate the ERC 1155 tokens into their own projects and games. Now, in 2020, they'll also be launching a brand new gaming engine and software development kit, or SDK, to further accelerate blockchain-based game developers' work. Now, throughout all of these features, the ENJ token, or the Enjin token, is the key to all of Enjin's products and services, and it serves as the main minting and reserve mechanism for the ERC 1155 items that get created on their platform. Both gaming and digital goods are due for a major disruption in the world today, and quite frankly, there's a huge market for it. The days of CryptoKitties, though, show that there's a ravenous appetite for users of even the most simple games with a digital collectible component, and that means Enjin's work is going to make these games even more fun to play and even more accessible and obviously more scalable. Enjin's poised to be one of the predominant forces for the developers of these next generation games and products, and for that reason, I think Enjin's in a great position to absolutely crush it in 2020 and beyond. Now, moving on to number 2, I have a project representing another huge niche in the crypto world, and that is interoperability. And that project is Cosmos. Cosmos' core network is in mainnet, and it's called the Cosmos Hub. Now, this Cosmos Hub is really the connective tissue that allows multiple unrelated blockchain networks to connect to each other. You can think of the Cosmos Hub as a community-run highway interchange between different blockchain networks. Now, within this Cosmos Hub network, the Atom token is used as a proof-of-stake lever to secure the traffic moving across this connective layer. Now, in short, Atom holders stake their Atom to earn rights to validate transactions and events on the network, and in turn help secure these communications through the consensus mechanism. Now, this is not the only thing that Cosmos itself has developed that's really appealing to me. They've really created a robust abstraction layer that gives the developer of blockchain applications the freedom to focus less on consensus and the network and the core protocol level, and more so on the actual logical services layer of their project, which, in my opinion, is a really underrated component of Cosmos. Cosmos also provides developers the tools and robust developer kits to create interoperable and scalable blockchain-based applications without having to worry about the protocol layer. Well, because they've built a framework for it already within the Cosmos ecosystem. Cosmos still obviously has work to do to bring their full vision into reality, the one that was in their white paper, but it's still one of the most intriguing blockchain infrastructure projects and plays out there right now. I could talk for hours about the project and the details behind it, but I'm trying to keep it super brief here. Now, if you're interested in a deep dive about Cosmos, let me know in the comments down below. Now, next on the list is arguably one of the most underrated cryptocurrency projects out there, and that is Digibyte. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bitcoin exists, so what does Digibyte do that makes it so worth the effort and makes it really worth anything in comparison? Now, hear me out. Digibyte is one of those projects that really exemplifies what it means to be an open source blockchain protocol. The creator of Digibyte, Jared Tate, is not a figurehead or a puppeteer that controls everything. And recently he made a shock announcement that he's stepping back from Digibyte in general, citing disagreements with how the project is run and disenchantment with the industry as a whole. Now, this could be seen as a negative by some, but to me, this gives credence to the fact that the creator in Digibyte does not pull all the strings, does not control everything, and that this is really a community-run, no ICO open source project, for better or for worse. The people running this project and doing major protocol updates and supporting the software behind the project are oftentimes people who are just passionate about the project. That being said, Digibyte also has technology that's not totally appreciated in the way that I think it should be. They've worked tirelessly to create a mining ecosystem with multiple proof of work algorithms to prevent mining centralization, to improve the accessibility for mining. And they're now starting to attack ASIC dominance with new proof of work flavors as well. Now, there's been a significant amount of work done to develop digital asset creation on the blockchain network, which in this case is a UTXO or unspent transaction output blockchain, which I've had the chance to use myself in Digi Assets, and it's quite interesting. It's not perfect, but it's a really interesting concept to work with, and it's something that I think Digibyte is going to double down on and keep building out. I can really see the potential here. And Digibyte's taken the fundamentals from Bitcoin and also used this open source community to implement unique and powerful protocol level changes that make it lightning fast, but a still secure transaction network that can be extended to handle digital assets in the future or digital identity in the future. Again, I can't go into every single development that they've made for Digibyte that makes it great, but Digibyte's a project with real utility and a deeply rooted commitment to decentralized governance that cryptocurrencies really should have. Now, the next project that I think has the potential to make a major splash in 2020 is Cardano and its ADA cryptocurrency. So right up front for transparency, I am a Cardano ambassador, which is not a paid position, but it's really representative of my belief in the project, and I've made content about it in the past. That said, I feel like 2020 is the year where Cardano finally proves the doubters wrong. In simple terms, Cardano is a project that's looking to compete with Ethereum as a decentralized application-enabled blockchain network, or a network that enables the development of decentralized applications. However, Cardano has taken a much different approach to the same problems of scalability, network security, transaction finality, virtual machines, and the like that Ethereum has done as well. Now, Cardano's development team has approached these challenges like academia would, with formally verified research into the core mathematics, hardware performance, and psychology that goes into a secure proof of stake consensus mechanism. After years of research and development doing this, Cardano is set to launch its proof of stake ecosystem to mainnet in Q2 2020, which will bring a whole new level of utility to the native ADA cryptocurrency. Because now, users will be able to stake and participate in the network itself at a much greater degree than they can now. Later in 2020, which I would estimate to probably be on the fall timeline, Cardano is also set to launch its new virtual machine and smart contract scripting language, Plutus, which is based on the Haskell language. This will be the final box to check before we see a whole new breadth of users and utility for Cardano's network, with dApps being enabled on the blockchain, finally. Of course, people will say, how is this different from Ethereum 2.0 or Tezos or the others that are out there? And to that I will say, it's much too early to claim winners and losers in the world of blockchain protocols. There's a lot of room in the world for these protocols to coexist, and they all have their own unique communities and use cases and niches that they can each fill. So 2020, I think, is the year of reckoning for Cardano, and I'm stoked to be here to see it. And finally, the last project on the list today is seeking to address one of the biggest problems in the crypto space, and that is centralized crypto exchanges and liquidity providers. Kyber Network and its KNC cryptocurrency is focused on providing low-cost, decentralized exchange services using an on-chain protocol that is already live in mainnet on Ethereum. And with the DeFi circus going on, it's even more important than it ever has been. For the end user, Kyber can be used to swap one cryptocurrency for another in one transaction with minimal fees. Now, this is inclusive of more complex swaps where there are no direct pairs on exchanges. For example, converting SNT to BTC The Kyber network can then swap your SNT to ETH, then ETH to BTC, and credit you back with that Bitcoin within one transaction cycle. This is a really underrated feature. For dApp developers, it gives an easy way to allow payments and interactions within a dApp or price feeds within a dApp without the native token. For example, if a user wants to buy a CryptoKitty with Link without manually converting to ETH or buying ETH, that's something they can do with Kyber. And finally, Kyber provides the ever popular DeFi ecosystem with much needed liquidity and exchangeability using the aforementioned mechanisms that we just talked about. Now, many DeFi products require the ability to rebalance portfolios, liquidate assets, or to accept payments in a wide variety of cryptocurrencies that might not be native. Now, Kyber makes these processes easier to implement, and it lowers the operating costs associated with these processes. The KNC token is again the fuel that drives this whole ecosystem. And since launch, it's been designed as a deflationary currency by burning a portion of KNC fees taken for all transactional events within the Kyber network. This ensures that the KNC supply is burned at an increasing rate as things happen in the network and things move forward. However, in a recent update announced for the token economics, Kyber is bringing a plethora of updates to the whole KNC model. So later in 2020, KNC holders will be able to stake and earn a percentage of the network fees for participating in the network governance. This really comes into KNC rewards for those who contribute liquidity to the Kyber network as well. And then finally, there will be fee-based rewards for dApps that connect new users and services to Kyber's network and subsequently to use the KNC token. Now, we will see what all these features mean and what they look like as they're developed and released, but Kyber at a very base level has a great use case, a high quality product, and I'm really excited for what they're going to do in 2020 and beyond. With DeFi continuing to increase in popularity and even more focus being placed on self-custody wallets for users of dApps, Kyber is in a great position to continue growth in 2020, and I will definitely be finding ways to integrate it into my own projects. Now, if you're interested in checking out picks 6 through 10 to round out my list of favorite altcoins for 2020, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you click on this video icon right here or right here to get more altcoin content. But as always, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, cheers.